Hey everybody, it's tequila time. A little something different. Um, New bottles coming on the way, but nothing. And as I was scrolling through Facebook earlier this week and realized that it is Cascahuin's 70th anniversary. And I thought, what better way of doing a content of one of my favorite tequilas, and go through a little history and a few of the brands that they sell. Some just in the U.S., some are Mexico only, at least as far as expressions. So, a little background: Cascahuin was started in. I'm looking at the book. Oh, by the way, most of this information is going to be coming from this book here, The Field Guide of Tequila. Cascahuin was founded in 1906 by Salvador Rosales Sr., his father. After working at his aunt's distillery, he moved to El Arenal and founded Cascahuin, the Hill of Light. And then probably in the 70s ish, so Salvador Rosales Sr. took over for his father, and he had been doing it for years until about 2010, where Salvador Jr. Chava, nice guy, haven't met him yet, talked to him a little bit chatted back and forth on Facebook and on Instagram. He was very helpful in my trip to Mexico, knowing the easiest way to get a hold of him was through a chat, whether it was WhatsApp or whether it was through Facebook Messenger. We tried to stop at the distillery. The driver had another fare, so he was in a big hurry, didn't have time to stop. We could have gone back. We still had plenty of time when we got there. We would have had to get a car or an Uber to take us back to Arenal from Guadalajara. So instead, Cascahuin has an office or a warehouse in Guadalajara. And I said, we missed we couldn't get back to the distillery on the way from Tequila. He goes, we can go to the office, to the warehouse in Guadalajara. They've got bottles and they've got t-shirts, and I'll let them know you're coming. Sure enough, I ring the doorbell at the warehouse and somebody answers, and I said, Chava said we could come and get t-shirts and bottles. And, oh, okay. And they opened the door. That was it. We come in, and she spoke very little English, and we speak very little Spanish. So, but got me a nice t-shirt. I can't point the right finger. That finger right there. Cascahuin. And like I said, I've collected about all I can collect that is distributed in the U.S. We'll go through those in a minute, but I want to do a little. So it's NOM 1123. The brand was actually officially established in 1956. They do a few other brands, and I have a couple of those here as well. Siempre Valas, Revolucion, Wild Common, Curnito, and Lagrimas. And so, stone oven cooked, earthen pit, roller mill, Tahona, mallet. That's the Siempre Valas. Extractions with the roller mill, Tahona mallet. Fermentation, open wood, stainless steel, and concrete vats. We'll get into the concrete vats. That leaves a very mineral flavor to the profile. Distillation is stainless steel and copper pot. Barrels are American oak and French oak. If you've not seen a bottle of Cascahuin, I'm going to show you two here real quick. Again, if you do not have this book, find it. This is a great resource guide. If you are getting into real tequila, you're getting tequila in general. Even Cuervo's in here, the good history about Cuervo. is all in here. This is a great resource guide. I cannot emphasize that more. Clayton did a really great job with this. I know Grover did a lot of the photographs. So, putting this aside, Cascahuin. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorites. Some of the bottles that are available in the U.S. One is their olive oil, what I call the olive oil bottle. This is the Blanco at 80 proof. This is the El Reposado at 84 proof. You still can't see these. All right. So these two here. These two of the olive oil bottles are now fairly available. There is an añejo, but you don't see it much in the U.S. And this bottle is the one that I picked up when I was in Mexico, as from the Mexican text stamp here. All of these are very delicious. They are probably within that 40 to 60 price range. I wish they imported more of this. This is so good, and at its price point, it's just, this is all good. Good. So, see, this is even, I told you that is Mexico. This is 38%. There are bigger bottles of these, and for Europe, they've actually put them in a regular bottle. And what do I mean by regular bottle? Well, regular bottle would be this. And this is one of the ones that we find almost every day here in the U.S. Cascahuin Tahona Blanco. We're running right at 42% alcohol. This is a very delicious. And one of my favorites. What's funny, I didn't buy a bottle of this in Mexico, but I did buy its little mini cousin, and it's right behind my head, so we're not going to worry. I found a 350 bottle, or 325. Yeah, 325 bottle. I got the little mini bottle. Only comes up to here. Probably never open it. It's just there because I wanted a mini bottle. The other one that is, again, also one of my favorites. You get the Cascahuin Plata 48, sitting right at 48%, which would be 96 proof. This is their high proof. Now, what's the differences between these two? This is Tahona. This is Roller Mill. Down to that text, you would have to look on Tequila Matchmaker app to see. I believe this one is fermented in either in stainless steel or in the concrete pits. This might be actually be in wood. Not positive. If not, it's stainless steel. The other one that is, if you can find it, and which is going to be probably California, East Coast. If you can find it, this would be the other one that is somewhat readily available in the U.S. This is a normal import item, which is the Extra Añejo. This one, though, was bought in Mexico. I actually bought two. This is right at 43% alcohol. I bought two, drank one. As you can see, this one's still full. Really good juice. Really, really good juice. All of these. Cost-wise, that's where we come in, because these are very sought after bottles. Though the Plata 48 and the Tahona are the most readily available, the Tahona, it's about $100 plus or minus $5. I'm going to say plus $5, up to plus $5 or $10. depending on where you're at. I think in my Total Wine, this is $106, somewhere in that neighborhood. Where the Plata 48, because it's not a Tahona, and it runs just under 100, somewhere in the $96 to $98 range. Not exactly budget friendly. Though the olive oil bottles, even though added lower proof, these are more into your mid-range price range. And like I said, in the 40 to 60 range, depending from Blanco all the way to Añejo. The extra Añejo is probably, I haven't priced them in a while. I'm going to say closer to 200. Probably 185 if you can find it. Special releases. I have a couple of those. One of the more recent ones was this one. And this is the Destino. I'm going to show the back label. This was a very unique blended bottle of Blanco. So the artwork, this happens to be bottle number 3. This is Chava's bottle. This represents the company of Cascahuin and the amount of employees that they own. So this is Salvador Jr. Chava. This is his bottle. His father's is very similar to this, just fewer little dots. And then his grandfather's has even fewer dots. Same juice, all 3 bottles. Let's see how good my memory is. I believe they started out with 12 different Blanco tequilas. They took 6, blended them together, made the best blend out of those, and then blended them with the other 6. And this is where they came up with this. My numbers are a little off. They're just a little off. They had quite a few. I mean, there is Plata 48. There is Cascahuin. There is the green bottle. There's all of these in at different points. Made a nice blend out of it. This is delicious. Where are we sitting at? This is 49%. This is almost 100 proof, right at about 100 proof. I was only able to get 1. So this is where we're at with that. Saving it up. But delicious. One of my other limited edition bottles. And this was to celebrate Chava Sr.'s birthday, if I'm not mistaken. I just call it SVD. Siete veces 10. Anyway, SVD. This is a Reposado. This is sitting right at 90 proof at 45%. Let's see if I can get in. This is a beautiful bottle of tequila. Nice light straw color. This is also has a Mexican text sticker. This is bottle number 3 for me. My first one I got here in the Kansas City area was at Bubbles of Parkville. I walked in the door. Mike goes, "Hey, I got a bottle for you if you want it." And I went back there and went, "Oh yeah, it's Cascahuin, I want it." Which blew the tequila budget for that month. 1 bottle. No, it didn't blow it completely, but put a big dent in it. Finally found out this is one of my favorite Cascahuin bottles. Hence, I've gone through, this is number 3. I've gone through 2. Little bit at a time. So, yes, I've put this back. This will get opened for a special occasion. I know how good this tequila is, and it is one of my favorites. Another one, and probably the last one that I have that I am holding, it was a recent purchase, and if you watch my channel, you know that this has already been on just briefly, but since we're doing Cascahuin, doing 1123, I wanted to revisit this last bottle. This was my last Cascahuin purchase. And again, this is hard to find. It's a distillery only or Mexican only release. So these are hard to come by. Somebody gets them when they go to the distillery. They mule them back over. Usually they buy more than one, sometimes 6, and then they part with them. It has to be at a price that I am willing to pay for. And there's only certain ones that I will go over the budget for. This is over the budget, but not really over the budget. And for a single bottle, this is over the budget. But this is a very rare bottle to find. So this is a Cascahuin Private Barrel Reposado. We are right at 44% alcohol by volume. This is a Reposado. Okay. This is a Reposado. I think we have a problem here, Houston. There's a difference. You want to see something funny? Remember, this is a Reposado. This is an Añejo. Extra Añejo. This is darker. And it should be. Why? The extra Añejo was done in American oak. This is a Reposado that was done in French oak. That was a ex-sherry wine cask. This was aged 6 months. That's only half the distance to a year. This was a special bottle that was picked by the House of Ferrer. Of course, Mexican tax stamp. I have not tasted this. I've seen Doug taste this on camera, which is why I was very interested in buying it. So once it became available at a point that I felt I could go ahead and purchase it, I had the funds to do it, I went in and did it. So my FOMO was over. No, not until this week, where because of the anniversary, there's been at least 2 bottles that are Mexican release only from Cascahuin. And I'm not in any big hurry to collect them. They sound very interesting, and if I go to Mexico and I can find them, then I will get one. That's not going to be anytime soon, so unless I find them again on the internet at a price that I can justify in my brain. They're nice, they're pretty, and I'll wait. But because there's so many other things coming out of 1123. They don't do a lot, but they do a few. And one of the ones that they come out that I really, really enjoy is Wild Common. And this is Wild Common. I've had every expression of Wild Common, I believe. My last 2 was the high proof at 100 proof, Blanco. And I have some of it left. And I have the Añejo. And I have some of it left. These are really, really good. Again, high quality standards of Cascahuin. Great, great, great tequila. Because I've had the regular Blanco, I've had the Reposado. And Añejo just came out just a year or so ago, and they've had the high proof. One of my favorite tequilas. Just about anything coming out of 1123, I'm all for. It's been fun, collecting selection. I intermingle the two a lot, but it's really it's a great experiment. I mean, literally, it's a great experiment because you get to try what differences in, of course, terroir and yeast strains and water, all these variables that come in with making the tequila helps with what its flavor profile is going to be. And one of the most interesting things to come along lately has been Lagrimas de Valles tequila. And they took a page kind of from Ocho, and there's a reason why. I'm not going to remember the name of the company, but let's show the bottles. So this is the normal bottle. This happens to be the Reposado. This is from El Sabino. All their tequilas are at 46% by volume. They're 92 proof. Whether it's a Blanco or whether it's a Reposado. But they took a page from Ocho and then went a little bit farther with it. Got to do a tasting with a gentleman that is an employee of Altamar Brands, and they are responsible for this to be made. They were working with Ocho till Brown Forman took over as far as marketing and importation, and they were out of a job. So, but they liked the idea of single estate tequilas to highlight terroir. So they went and kind of pitched this to everybody that does brands. Some were interested a little bit, some weren't very interested. But when they came to Cascahuin, knowing Cascahuin makes a very, very good product, they had to pitch it to him. And, Chava was like, man, my hands are full. I've got enough going on as it is. I'm not really wanting to take on any new brands. What do you want to do? And his dad happened to be there that day. And he said, well, we wanted to do something similar but different than what Ocho does and what G4 does. And some of the other brands that own their agave fields. But all of their agave fields are in the same elevation as all the rest of their agave fields. I mean, there's just slight differences. We would like to do something completely different. Instead of going by estates, let's go by states. Let's pick Jalisco. Let's pick Michoacan. Let's pick... So all these agave fields that they grow the agaves in, each release is from a different part of Mexico. So you're getting the real differences in terroir. If you get interested in finding out, go to the website and look. They will explain where these all come from. I'm not going to get into that great detail. But this was the 2023. I love each expression, each different state, each agave field in that state, which is what the name of the tequila is. This El Sabino, that was the field in what state that came from. Each one of those, is indicative of where it comes from. This was the newest release. Can't remember what the date on this is. It's funny how it doesn't have it. This is lot 2. I'm looking for a date. I believe this is 2025. It may be 2024. This is number 2. And this has a special label. Artists created this label and one for High and Wicked, which is another Altamar brand. This is from, though, El Sabina. This is really good. This has got a very nice sweet note of cooked agave to it. it's just you. Even though this is a Repo and this is a Blanco, the base juice is different. You can tell just by that, and then you add aging to it. But I was fortunate enough when this first came out. I went ahead and got a Blanco. I did, like I said, I had Repo. I got a Blanco. These are all delicious tequilas, and if you have not tried Cascahuin, you need to. You're a little hesitant. The Plata 48 and the Tahona Blanco, usually if they've got Cascahuin at a bar, they'll have those too. But in some of your higher end places, you're going to have more of these available. Locally, I think what I consider to be a good liquor store has all of the olive oil bottles. We'll pull one of these out. There's the Blanco. They all have these, Bubbles, Mike's, Justin's, even Total Wine has these. Macadoodles and Lee Summit has these. They usually have the Blanco and they have a Repo. Even my local liquor store, Liquor King, has the Blanco. If I always, and if he doesn't have this, what's funny, he'll have this one. And he never has the two of them together, but he has one or the other. And he always has a Plata 48, and he always has a Tahona Blanco. So, like I said, if you haven't tried a 1123 product, and they have an Arte Nam series, they did. I believe it was Salvador Senior's, one of his original Blanco recipes that he used, where they tweaked it a little bit. What else? I think that's it from them. Other than, and then like I said, there's brands that I don't have, and like I said, there's some new expressions that have come out. They're going to be, more than likely, one of them is an actual Cascahuin brand, Palenco, and then there's another one they came out with that I think is just a limited run. It's something they wanted to do for the anniversary. So, great stuff. I hope to go back and be able to go to El Arenal and see Chava and get a tour of the distillery and really, immerse myself into the Cascahuin experience. Seen lots of videos, but I get there, but that much. But very hospitable people. One of my favorite T-shirts, which means I wear it out. I'm gonna have to go get another one, and I think I can only get this one in Mexico. So anyway, let's drink a little tequila, and then I'll let you go. If you have any questions, if you have any, just put a comment here, in the box. Like I said, I know there's other brands. There's the all the other brands that I mentioned that were in the book. If you want to look up anything better than that, I would go on to the Agave Matchmaker and look up Cascahuin. That is 1123 for a nom. And it will tell you what other brands are made, were made, and so as long as it's up to date, it won't have some of the newest stuff. But it will have most everything. Because this is a little bit of a special evening, let's have a little Destino. First tequila of the day, and I'm going for high proof. Yeah. I'm going to put that there. I'll put the book here. There we go. Let you kind of see. Nope, still not high enough. It's all right. It's all right. we're going to substitute the book for glass box. There we go. Destino. Again, it is one of my favorite tequilas. It's just, it's. I don't want to call it the weirdest blanco you've ever had, but when you have that many blended together, you're gonna get a little bit of everything. Cooked agave, minerality. I'm a little clogged up, guys. I work in a very dusty factory, but from experience, this is a very delicious yet high-proof tequila. So, we drink responsibly. We wash first. Wow. That's amazing. Even at first taste. That's good. Wow. Yes, it's overwhelming my taste buds. That's really good. Lots of cooked agave. Lots of minerality. That cooked agave sweetness. Is there a fruit note to it? Man, if there is, I'm sure there's some lime zest that I have tasted before. Right now, that's the first thing. It's just agave, alcohol, and then minerality, and then the finish is just nice. Once you get past the 100 proof, and then just, ooh, man, this is great. These bottles are pricey. Like I said, you find a friend that's got one, that's got an open bottle, ask for a sample, ask for a drink, get a little pour. Go to a bar if they have it, try it. It's well worth the try. Remember, it's 100 proof. You're going to want to either have drinking something before this that's around 80 proof or 90 proof, and then work your way to the 100. Or start with the 100 and take a little sip, wash your mouth real good, get it all nice and tingly and numb, and then we go for the second sip. Salud. Man. Cooked agave everywhere. Nice minerality to it. Just some mellowness that it's not come up and slap you in the face. It is so nice to the palate, even at 100 proof. It just, you want more, and it is definitely. Let's get a little bit on the glass and I can show you, see what our viscosity looks like. So it's running, got some legs running down. Tears are holding tight up above. Nice and clear. The aromas, like I said, my sinuses are bad due to all the dust that's in my place of work. And I did not prepare well enough for this video. Really wasn't sure I was going to do it, and then I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. So. That's so good. A little bit of that anise, that little like black licorice on the backside. Good stuff. Good stuff. A little salty. A little briny. My taste buds either wake up or have been woken up, and I'm getting a little bit more each time. So, again, Cascahuin. It's a hit, not a miss. Again, limited release bottles are not not cheap. Not knocking them, they're just not cheap. So understand that as you start collecting bottles for your selection, realize that some of these harder to find Cascahuin bottles are going to be a little pricey. So you've got other options. You have the olive oil bottles. You've got Lagrimas. You've got Wild Common. You've got Excelencia. You've got all these other ones that are now available. You don't have to anything. It's kind of like all the brands that come out of 1414. I haven't found a bad one yet. There's ones that are a little bit lacking, but they're not bad. They're not bad. Are they at the same quality as Viva? Or the same quality as Siempre? Are they the same as Lost Lord? No, but they weren't specific. They may be more specifically made for the Mexican market, not us dinglings here in the American market, where some of these are, or they're privately done, or they're done specifically for a bar restaurant in Mexico or in America. They go down and they pay to have these extra limited edition bottles specifically for their place of business. So, in saying that, this is a great brand, high quality brand. I can't say enough good stuff about it. I have nothing bad to say about it at all, other than I ain't been there yet. But I will. My day is coming, and it's just like 1414. Every once in a while, I have conversations with Sergio Cruz this way, and especially when we're doing some kind of a online event with either Mary Carmen or with the Agave Social Club, and he's not on there, and it's about something he's made. I'm always, hey, what are you doing? Because he's always online. He's just not online with us. So Chava's been very hospitable in the little bit I have been able to talk to him. He friended me on Facebook, which I'm sure he friends a lot of people on Facebook. But I enjoy his content where he's off traveling and promoting the Cascahuin brand, and then also sending family photos of his little family vacations, his little quickie vacations. So, power to him. I'm glad he's able to do the life-work balance. That is a great, great, great way to do it. So, in closing, Cascahuin, all thumbs up for me. Try it as you can afford it. And if you can buy, if you can get samples of it, if you can get, get pours of it at a bar, do it. Do it. You'll not regret it. Just, understand what you're buying. That's the biggest thing with a lot of these, and I'm going to say artisanal tequilas, is they do little twists and turns in yeast and and what they do in production and how they do this and how they to create the different aromas and flavor profiles. And Cascahuin, both the Salvadors, doing a great job with it. I think Salvador Senior's basically retired, so it's just Chava. And with his crew, they're making some great tequilas. And so, wow, can't knock it. So, till next time, salud. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.